Hello everyone, I'm Gregory Campbell. Welcome to my vlog. This is Life as It Is. Yesterday I posted a intro video to my vlog introducing what I was going to try to go with this video. And also mentioned that I would be posting a video today, my first real video, and today I want to be talking about child bullying. Now I could talk about bullying in general, but there's so many aspects of bullying, adult on adult, child on child, child on adult, adult on child, and we would be here all day. So, and I'm going to try to keep these videos as short as possible to keep interest and not put people to sleep. So, now today, talking about child bullying, the only thing I can really start with is my personal experiences that I went through. So I'm going to be going through some more specific memories. I won't be going into the minor ones because what's the point? But major ones that stuck out throughout the history of my life in school, from kindergarten to high school. So, without further ado, start from the beginning, they say. So, when I was in kindergarten, I had a teacher. And we had this system where we'd go to lunch, and then we'd have to go to the bathroom, and then we'd go back to class. And she was pretty strict about this thing that if you didn't go at lunch, then you couldn't go for the rest of the day. And we were stuck in class after lunch for another 2 or 3 hours. So one day I didn't have to go at lunch. So we went back to class, and of course, as a kid, 30 minutes later, I had to go. And I raised my hand and asked the teacher to go, and she says, "No, you should have gone at lunch." Anybody knows, even in college, if you asked to go to the bathroom, they'll let you go to the bathroom. But this woman was just really strict about this. She did not want kids going to the bathroom. She was like, go now or don't go at all. And, well, I was a little stubborn kid, so I whipped it out and peed on the floor. And, well, it wouldn't have been too much if she had just like, okay, that's not cool or whatever. But, no, she proceeded to put me in front of the class on a stool and say, look at this kid, this is not how you want to be. It was embarrassing, and in my opinion, there is no reason to ever embarrass a child, much less anybody. But she proceeded, that was her thing. She wanted to really make an example of me. And that was one situation that was adult on child. I just felt that was not right of her to do that to a child at all. I still remember the embarrassment I felt to this day. So that was the first situation when I was in kindergarten. Now in first grade, it was way different. My teacher was Miss Campbell. Now anybody knows me, I just said my name's Gregory Campbell. No, we were not related. But she did hate that I had the same last name as her. So she would pick on me specifically. If anybody knows me, I was a quiet kid. I kind of kept to myself. So I wasn't loud, I wasn't obnoxious, I never talked in class. I just went to school and did my thing and went home. Well, one day, I remember, we were cleaning out the underneath of our desk, and there was this girl in front of me that she wasn't even my type. I could tell back then she wasn't my type. She looked like a snooty little girl. She dressed snooty, she acted snooty, she had a snobby attitude, and I didn't like it. So there was no, I had no like for this girl, so there's no way I would have done this. But she proceeded to raise her hand and go, "Teacher, Greg blew me a kiss." Well, of course, without any proof, the teacher just went ahead and sent me to the principal. Why? Because, well, she didn't like me anyway, so that was just an excuse. And this woman, that's just one situation that I remember very vividly, but this went on for years. You can even ask my mom about it. She has stories of that woman just constantly picking on me. And that's just terrible. Why adult would want to pick on a kid, especially just because you have the same last name? I mean, it's just silly to me. So that was the second situation. And then in the second grade, now this one has a little humor to it, but at the same time, it was just uncalled for, and this was definitely just child on child. But I was on the bus going home. We lived in Blair, Oklahoma. Went to Navajo, way out in the country. And we were on the bus for almost an hour at a time going home. And this one kid who I sit next to him, and I guess he didn't like me. I thought at the time when we were on the bus, we were just kind of tussling. And I thought he was just horseplaying. Me and my brother did that all the time. Fist fought, tussled, wrestled, whatever. So to me, that was just normal. No harm done. But then he proceeds to take my arm, twist it behind my back, and push my face into the window. Well, at this point, I feel threatened. So I proceeded to release, kind of undo the freaking tie, reversed the throw up against the window, and kicked him in the face. Well, it solved the problem. I do believe we both probably got sent to the principal on that one. But the funny part of the story is the next day he came to school with a footprint on his face and he got laughed at. Now, there's no funny part about laughing at somebody for their pain they're going through, but in my case, I felt it was funny because he deserved it. But yeah, that's another kid just trying to be a bully. Wanted to prove his masculinity to me, and he lost. So now we moved to that was when we moved out into Altus, out in the country, and we started going to a Christian school from 3rd to 6th grade. Now, I'm not saying Christian schools don't have any bullying going on. Trust me, that's not a true statement at all. There are a lot of Christian schools where, there's just bullies everywhere. But in this specific school, the teachers were really good. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, they were wonderful Christian people. They were just so sweet, so nice. They never really disliked any of the students or kids. And I always, I had a lot of friends there and family and stuff. So in those years, 3rd through the 6th grade, I don't really remember any heavy bullying going on during that time. So we'll skip a few years, but then we get to City View, 7th and 8th grade when we moved to here, Wichita Falls. Now, if any of y'all been to City View, well, you'll know the layout of what I'm about to tell you. So there was 2 incidences, and I can't remember if it was the 7th, which grade it actually happened in. It could have been both in one grade or another grade, whatever, one each grade, who knows. But that's not the point. So, well, I'll start with the one that was the lighter. It was still pretty it was stupid, but it wasn't like the next one. So the first one, there was this girl who she hung out with all the jocks and everything. She was cute. But she always had this dislike for me. I don't know why. I never caused her any grief, but maybe it's just because she was a bully. So, but I remember when we were in art class, and I was sitting at a desk, and this is one of those desks that some kid had sat in it and carved all over it. It was just carved into high heaven. So there's no telling, who carved the last thing in, but I'm not a destructive person. I remember I was sitting there drawing a picture on a piece of paper. Well, this girl, when the teacher's not looking, looks over and goes, "Teacher, Craig's carving into the desk." And of course, this teacher, without any proof again, gives me a week of day detention. Now, I can't remember the specific name of what that is, but it's when you pretty much spend the whole day isolated in a room with all the other bad kids, and you don't get to spend time with your friends. I think you pretty much have to eat lunch in that classroom at the desk. You go and get your lunch and then go back. I had a whole week of that just because of a lie that some girl made up because she didn't like me. That was awful, because nothing like spending a week isolated from the world for something you didn't even do. Now, that's a whole nother story. I've gone through my whole life being accused of things that I never did, just because people are just evil. And evil creates evil. Now, I'm not evil. Thank goodness I never came out evil, I don't think. But now the next situation, it was pretty awful. If anybody remembers City View, there was the lunchroom in the elementary side, and then there was a big courtyard right next to that lunchroom where if you finished your lunch early, you could go out there and hang out with friends and relax, get some fresh air before you had to go back to class. Well, one day I was out there, and I remember 3 of the jocks, and guys, I didn't hit my growth spurt and become at least over 5'5" until I was in high school. So this is junior high, and I'm probably 5'1", 110 pounds at best. Skinny little kid, And these are bigger guys, and 3 of them. They're all pushing me, and this is like not 30 feet from a teacher that was supposed to be watching and make sure nothing's bad's happening. they're pushing me. Hey, loser, loser, you're a freaking loser. Now, another terrible, that's in the embarrassing side. There's about 15 people standing around watching this, laughing. And there was about 3 girls that I liked that were standing around. 2 of them were laughing, and one was actually going, guys, stop. You know, you're being really mean. Well, at this point, I'm so embarrassed that I started tearing up. I was getting really freaking like, oh my gosh. And so I'm start tearing up, and then they're going, it was like straight out of Christmas Story. They're like, you're going to cry, cry for me. And of course, at this point, I'm infuriated. I'm just so overwhelmed with just every emotion in the world. I look over, and the teacher is staring over and has done nothing about this, is doing nothing about this. So at this point, what do you think I'm going to do? Self-defense. I mean, like I said, 5'1", 110 pounds. These guys are like 5'5", 5'6", and have way more weight than me. So I just start swinging and hitting them all as hard as I can, as fast as I can, probably doing no damage. But, you know, he's doing something because I ain't going to take it anymore. Well, of course, then they start beating me to the ground and kicking me to a point where I'm like in the fetal, covering every vital part of my body, just trying to keep my head and ears and eyes and heart and whatever, and groin, whatever else protected, just trying to keep myself from getting hurt anymore. And at this point, the teacher comes over, grabs me, takes me to the principal's office, and tells the principal that, oh, there was 3 guys and they were just horse playing and having fun, and he started just went crazy and started beating them up, saying I started the fight. So I got in trouble for defending myself against 3 bigger guys. So that is a case of all the freaking bullying in the world. Embarrassment, physical beating, and then adults not doing anything about it. So much for that zero tolerance policy, right? It's terrible. So that was the 2 in junior high. And then I get into high school. You know, from there on, there was one situation where I was in Burke in the 9th grade, and I had some guy that him and his friends always tried to pick on me. I mean, it was just kids, you know, fighting. And at some point, I think twice, me and him went fisticuffs, and the last time was in shop, and then we never fought again. Good part of the note on that one. This one actually, I want to say is there is no, like I said, there is no positive side to bullying. There's nothing about bullying that can make it okay. But years later, that same bully, when he was in his 20s, added me on Facebook and proceeded to message me and tell me, are you the same Greg Campbell from Burke Burnett? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm so-and-so. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember you. He was like, hey, man, I wanted you to know I found Jesus Christ, and God led me to find you, and I wanted to apologize and let you know that, you know, I was just really mean. I mean, funny, another joke, like Billy Madison when he calls the old military guy, and he, like, marks him off the kill list and puts on lipstick, and they start playing ELO telephone lines. So, funny story. I always loved that, but it's the same kind of situation. I thought it was so awesome that he finally, you know, that he found Jesus, and that it, you know, it wasn't even. It was good to hear that he was sorry for what he did. It made me feel a little bit better about all the fighting that we did, but it was more so just awesome that he found Jesus Christ. And guys, and everything I'm talking about, bullying is exactly that. It is evil. It is mean people being mean. Most of the time, it is somebody who's been bullied and trying to take that out on somebody else. So it starts. It's like you can't just get rid of the tumor. You got to get rid of the cancer, and the cancer starts from the evil that was inflicted on them. You got to stop it at some point, and you know, and the only way that's going to happen is for everybody to stop bullying. But I'll be honest, I would love to see that day. So, but I won't keep this video going any longer. It's already going on 15 minutes, and I wanted to keep it under 10. But I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about bullying today and the awful sides of it, and On a lighter note, I guess I learned the world is a bad place. Defend yourself. There is no, like I said, there's no lighter note. But if I could say anything, lessons learned. Lessons learned. Defend yourself in this world, because, or at least learn to defend yourself, because people are always going to try to be out to get you. So, thank y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all. Once again, this is Gregory Campbell at Life as It Is, and I will hope to see y'all next time.